Good morning. Happy Friday at 7:30 on this May the 3rd. Tomorrow's May the 4th be with you and my son's birthday. Good morning. Welcome to Breakfast with Bridgett. I'm your host, Bridgett Ellison, and we're so glad we made it to Friday. And I hope you're keeping cool because meteorologist Candace Campos is in the Pinpoint Weather Center with this straight from the kitchen forecast for us. You started off saying, oh, it's a summer sampler. And then this morning I said, so Candace, what about that summer sampler? You said, oh, it's a buffet.
Yeah, yeah. I've been looking at the long range models for a little bit now, and the temperatures kept fluctuating a little bit, so I didn't want to like go too hardcore, but it looks like a lot of the things are really starting to line up. Big ridge of high pressure in the Gulf of Mexico really takes control, heats us up even further, really dries us out. If you thought that last couple of days we were dry,
Yeah.
we actually did see some little brief downpours here and there, but we're really going to dry out next week and then really heat up. Temperatures are going to be close to breaking some records,
Oh, wow.
century-old records. So let's take it to the map, show you what's going on across Central Florida. Let's show you here. Hold on, give me 1 second. This is what happens when you try multitasking.
That's okay.
Temperatures out the door right now are in the 60s and 70s, and we're going to continue to warm up back to near 90 degrees. You can see that high by about 4 o'clock. It will be toasty, Bridgett, and listen, it's going to stay hot. We're going to be staying in the upper 80s starting by 2 p.m. Now, folks along the immediate coastline, won't be too bad. Temperatures are going to kind of max out in low 80s as we are going to continue to see that onshore breeze starting to push in across Central Florida. So again, we're talking more like low 80s across our coastal areas, low 90s the further inland you go by 4 p.m. But look at those rain chances. As of right now, we are still looking mostly dry. There's no rain out there right now on the radar. And we are factoring in a little more dry air in place. And that's why rain chances for today will be down to about a 10% chance of rain, but they will start to increase up to about a 20 to 30%. So you can see here, we're going to continue to watch those scattered showers develop across our inland zones throughout the afternoon. But as we progress throughout the day, you can see that those rain chances are really not impressive just yet. That will all soon change, though, as we head into your Saturday, as temperatures are once again going to be really fluctuating and moving into those those upper 80s, low 90s. Now, look at those rain chances. Come Saturday, that same sea breeze that starts to develop, we're going to be kind of tapering off the dry air just a little bit, bringing in a little more moisture. And because of that, rain chances will go up to about a 20% tomorrow. So you see the same sea breeze that develops today will actually produce rain tomorrow, meeting up along the 75 late in the day on Saturday. And then rain chances go up even further, up to about a 30% come Sunday. So rain chances today at 10%, they go up to about a 20 to 30% on Saturday, and they get a little higher for your Sunday. Now let's look at what to expect. This is where we go from a summer sampler to a summer buffet. Weekend near 90, some rain is in the forecast, but by early next week, we're talking about temperatures into the mid 90s and no rain in the forecast. So how hot are we talking about, Bridgett? Well, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, highs are expected to be back into the mid to upper 90s in some spots, between about 94. I've seen a couple models holding on to 97 or so. Now, if we get close to that, we certainly will be in near record-breaking territory between 96 and 98 there. Most of our records set back more than a century ago, 1950 to 1916. Those records, by the way, are for Orlando. So as you get results here with your full 7-day forecast, we have commencement ceremonies going on at UCF all day today and tomorrow. So the weather is looking great, but warm. And then we're really going to heat up those temperatures pretty quickly. You can see rain chances just drop right off by Wednesday. Tons of heat. And overnight lows staying potentially in the 70s pretty much area-wide by early next week. So prepare yourself. It's temperatures we haven't seen in quite some time.
Yes, and fingers crossed that we don't break the record. Okay.
Could you imagine 97, 98 degrees? That's just not.
It's too early.
It's too early. It's too early. Now, if we had a little more moisture, we wouldn't get there because we'll have the sea breeze come in like it does every day. But right now we have so much dry air next week that it's not going to produce any, we can't get any rain. There's just no moisture to work with. Now, if
Mm-hmm.
we had that moisture, it would drop those temperatures. We get a nice band of rain come through. It would kind of start cooling us down and limit our ability to get up into those upper 90s, which is why during the summer, we
Mm-hmm.
don't get a lot of those close to hundreds like parts of the country. And this is because we do have so much moisture that the rain kind of kills off those chances. But we don't have all that moisture just yet in the forecast.
Yeah.
But rainy season tends to begin mid to end of May. So we're almost there.
Yeah, almost there. And before I let you go, we're
Tell me.
gearing up for Ask a Met, and that's always your chance to get more candid as a weather team. That's coming up
Yes.
June 3rd. So we're telling everyone, submit questions for this, Candace. So it's like a wide variety of questions, and it can be about anything, right?
Yeah, it doesn't have to only be weather related. Of course, appropriate questions, please. But no, I mean, people have asked just crazy questions on like, what's your favorite weather phenomenon to what do you like to do on your days off, or what's a fun little inside joke that people might not know
Mm-hmm.
about that we have as a weather team. So there's so much, and I love this weather team so much because everybody is so different.
Right.
Everyone brings their own spin to stuff, their own expertise, their own opinion about certain things. So it's just together, we're a very eclectic little family, and it's just so great. So when we all get to sit together on a non-severe warning kind of day, it's always nice for us. So we get to sit down after our new six special on June 3rd and just hang out and talk, which is just so nice. The only time we get to do that is when we do our after hours, our Ask Our Meteorologist, or when we're doing like big promotional shoots that we're all together.
Oh,
So
right. Yes.
we really do enjoy these because I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the mornings. I get to see like
Right.
Samara and Michelle
Mm-hmm.
during the afternoon, but I never get to see Tom, and
Right.
Jonathan is also out there, but we all have these revolving schedules. So it's always nice when everyone comes
Mm-hmm.
together. And some good questions. I know our viewers have good questions. So I'm interested to see what people are interested in.
And so people can go to
Mhm.
clickorlando.com/insider, submit those questions for the weather team, for your meteorologists. They'll be answering those questions. And you guys are hard at work on this program coming up to get everyone ready for hurricane season. So that
Exactly.
will run first. So right now you're
Mhm.
putting those stories together. So we're looking forward to those as well.
Yeah, all of us have a couple stories that we've been working on, and we sit down months in advance
Mm-hmm.
and kind of talk about what's important, what
Mm-hmm.
should be the biggest takeaways from this special, because we have so many people who either
Mm-hmm.
have just moved here, or folks who just kind of like a refresher.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes that's what you need. So we give you really cool information in a really easy to understand way, doesn't overwhelm you, but kind of hits on whether it's making a kit, whether it's
Mm-hmm.
how to prepare maybe a safe room. That's always been my beat because
Mm-hmm.
that's something that I truly, you know, uh,
And you get
think
out in the
giving my
community
life.
and you talk to all of the teams of people that work
Mhm.
year round in our
Oh, yeah.
community to make sure we're ready for hurricane season from that infrastructure standpoint as well.
Yeah. Insurance. What do you do with your home insurance? What do you do with your trees? How do you know if your trees are safe? They look good, but are they okay? So
Hmm.
there's just a lot
And
of
these
different
communities
things.
that have had flooding issues that are under
Exactly.
construction now to try to mitigate that should we
Mhm.
get into a flood stage again.
I mean, and that's the other cool thing. It's not just the meteorologists doing the stories. We have our reporters on the coast doing stories. We have our investigators looking into things.
Hmm.
So we really try to compile a really good list for you to kind of kickstart you into preparing for the
Hmm.
storm. We give you all that information, and then we can sit back and relax and have a good time with our after
Yeah.
hour special.
Because it helps everyone feel a little more prepared, and it, like you
Right.
said, it gets people up to speed who maybe aren't as familiar with how things go
Hmm.
during this time of year down here.
Yeah, the way you prepare for a tornado or an earthquake or a blizzard is
Hmm.
different than how you prepare for yourself for a hurricane. And mind you, a lot of these tips that we give you are great tips, even with no named
That's
storm
right.
approaching Central Florida, because at the end of the day, we could still have some of those crazy afternoon storms that spin up a severe weather outbreak. And we're
Hmm.
kind of in the midst of having to deal with power issues, having to deal with
Oh,
down
yes.
trees and things like that. So it's not just tropics. There's a lot of information that you can use and continue. I mean, like a lot of people don't know about flood insurance, that you can't
Right.
take out flood insurance
Depending on where
within
you
30
are.
days, depending on where you are, if there's a storm threatening. So there's a lot of things that you might not know or not even, think to ask the question, but we'll answer them. And let's at least get the ball rolling, even how to talk to your kids about it and things
Yes.
like that. So it's a good special. We always look forward to it every year. It's
Well, we
kind of
appreciate you
helps us
guys
get
because we
ready.
know it's not easy every day, but
Yeah.
you're helping everyone get ready because it is something we take very seriously. So we appreciate all the research and the hard work to get ready for this
Thanks,
season.
Bridget.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, listen, no
Yeah.
matter the numbers on the screen, it's you guys always say it's an active year. Well, it has been active years. This one looks to be even more active, but it
Yeah,
just
but tell
takes
that to
time.
the
So,
person, my mom last week, straight line winds took out the fencing and a gas station
no,
nearby in South Carolina. And you can't tell people that that wasn't a serious storm, but
exactly.
it wasn't necessarily a tornado. It's not hurricane season there, so it
Yeah,
doesn't take much for weather to
correct.
severely impact our lives. So
Yeah.
we appreciate all the heads up and planning.
June 3rd. June 1st is the official start of hurricane season, but that's a Saturday, so we're going to do it June 3rd.
All right, we'll see that then.
All right.
And submit those questions on Insider, like we said. All right. So we want to check in with Trooper Steve. Happy Friday, Trooper Steve. Out in results one. And you're going to
Happy
Holly
Friday.
Hill today, did you say?
I am headed to Holly Hill today for an event taking place at the Daytona Beach Area Association of Realtors. It's going to be their parking lot out there. They're having a home show and trade show. So they are, but you're probably thinking, why is Trooper Steve going to a home and trade show
Oh,
kind
you
of
go
thing? But all the
everywhere.
proceeds, yeah, all the proceeds are going to be benefiting a Ormond Beach police officer who has passed away,
Oh.
and it's going to be a family event. They did something like this a few years ago when Officer Jason Rayner was killed with the
Mm-hmm.
Daytona Beach Police Department. So that's going to
Mm-hmm.
be happening at 1716 Ridgewood Avenue in Holly Hill from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. I will not be out there till 3 o'clock, but I'm going to be out there from the start of it to show everyone what's going on. If you want to come out and say hi again, that's 1716 Ridgewood Avenue. So I will be out there doing some stuff and hanging out, just seeing what's going on. I love these community events that we get to and check out. We also have major traffic issues going
Okay.
on
Well, go ahead.
right now.
Go ahead with
Yeah, so
that. Yeah.
this just came out a little while ago. This is a mess, Bridget. This is going to be on the Florida Turnpike, right around the 276-mile marker. This is going to be northbound lanes. You can see they're all shut down. Traffic getting by on the right shoulder here. So they have activated what the Florida Highway Patrol calls RISC. It's a acronym that stands for basically a mass response cleanup because of the vehicles involved out here. So the delay is quite large. Again, just north of State Road 50 if you're getting ready to leave Winter Garden, the Ocoee, Claremont, and you're going to use the Florida Turnpike. I'm going to suggest that you take 27 up to the Florida Turnpike because of this delay. This does not appear to be getting cleaned up just yet. So I need people to be cautious. Outside of that, though, we're not horrible across Central Florida. Routine delays here and there. Your drive times are still in the green for the most part on a Friday, which I am not complaining about on I-4, which is really nice. If you're headed out to fly out this morning, 528 looking pretty good. So, Bridget, the biggest thing that I'm seeing is that turnpike stuff. So people just need to be cautious
Mm.
as they're hitting the road this morning. It may look nice outside, but we still need to make sure we're paying attention because things can happen.
Mm-hmm. All right. And again, just in case people around Holly Hill want to support that event, can you just recap that really quickly?
I sure can. It's going to be a home show and trade show taking place at 1716 Ridgewood Avenue in Holly Hill, 32117. It's weird when you have to say zip codes way out of our area because then we're not used to it. And that's going to be from 10 a.m. to it's 10 to 2 today, and I will be out there at 10 a.m. streaming a live event showing everyone what's going on. All proceeds to benefit a Ormond Beach officer's family. So that's
All
going to be an
right.
awesome day today.
Okay, wonderful. Well, we'll see you then. Thank you, Steve.
Bye bye.
Bye. a little bit of news, and then we'll head on over to our photojournalist Corey Murray and a preview of his podcast, Black Men Sundays. Right now, we want to tell you about a breaking news situation in Winter Garden. Police are investigating there a deadly shooting. It happened just after 2:30 a.m. along Azalea Way. When investigators got there, they found a 33-year-old man shot, and he was rushed to the hospital where he later died. Police say that a suspect is in custody, but they haven't released any more details just yet. So watch News 6 at noon and clickorlando.com for updates on what's happening out there in Winter Garden. Also, we want to take you to a story. This was big news yesterday. The state of Florida is taking a step in protecting everyone from these dangerous fires caused by lithium-ion batteries, which it's been a growing problem. And they seem to be in so many things these days that Governor DeSantis felt like there needed to be something put in place to help protect more people. So nearly 8 months ago, News 6 had an investigation showing that there were no rules in place that talk about safely storing these types of batteries in Florida. So News 6's Catherine Silver explains more about the laws and lawmakers working to change that.
Everyday devices that can be dangerous. The risk from lithium-ion batteries that are damaged or not used correctly is clear. This is a controlled example, a reminder of what can go wrong, and we've seen it happen over and over.
Yeah, we had the e-bike battery plugged in.
In the real world, too.
It burns faster, is more explosive. We're seeing that happen quicker with less time to react to the fire.
A fire from a lithium-ion battery thrown in the trash last year did nearly $500,000 worth of damage at the waste transfer station in Seminole County. How has the Seminole County Fire Department had to adapt so you're prepared?
We're currently working on a good training program for that.
Seminole County's fire department has training and special tools to fight these fires.
This blanket is big enough to cover an SUV completely, across the top all the way down the sides, and at the same time protecting the exposures on the other vehicles.
You could say a bill championed by News 6 is a new tool. Now that it's been signed into law, the state fire marshal will have the power to create new rules.
They're a real risk for our firefighters and our families. So we're going to bring everybody together, have one good, starting process of creating rules to make sure we have best practices in hand.
Jimmy Petronis, Florida's chief financial officer, oversees the state fire marshal's office.
I always think of the people at home who want to know, what does this mean for me and my daily life?
I think when we look at lithium-ion batteries, not everybody necessarily looks at the label where they come from. A lot of times with the technology that we're getting right now, if it sounds too good to be true, it usually is.
It makes a difference when these batteries are almost everywhere in everything.
You have your power tool batteries here. You got tablets.
Sounds like what's in your garage or on your nightstand. Fire officials have these safety suggestions so this doesn't happen in your home.
Use only the approved charging devices. Don't plug the batteries into power strips, and don't leave the batteries unattended while you're charging them. And above all, even if you think there's no more problems with the batteries, call us and let the fire department figure that there's no hazards.
All good advice, and those tips are important because it's not these devices themselves that are necessarily dangerous. It's when they're poorly manufactured or poorly used. Now, these are just some of the examples we're carrying around just in one car today. That also includes my cell phone, of course. It is important to make sure that your batteries are certified. How do you know? Well, we have that answer and a link to a database for you on clickorlando.com. In Orlando, I'm Catherine Silver, getting results, News 6.
Really great information there, working to build more awareness around safe practices and purchases of those types of batteries. Good info there. So go to clickorlando.com for more on that. As you know, the countdown is on for the Orlando Magic. Tonight is a must-win night at the Kia Center, hoping to win in Game 6 against the Cavaliers. And that tip-off is at 7. Once again, the Fan Fest starts at 5 on Church Street. You can go to the Magic's website to get those free tickets to get into that and check it out. So go Magic. Fingers, toes, everything crossed for them. Now we want to get over to Corey Murray standing by this morning, getting us ready for Black Men Sundays and another podcast that is helping us build wealth and, work smarter, not harder. Good morning, Corey.
Good morning. Happy Friday. How you doing?
Happy Friday. How are you?
I'm great. And I'm excited for this week's show because when I look on my social media, I see a lot of entrepreneurs. I quit
Mm-hmm.
my job, or
Mm-hmm.
I'm using my job to finance
It looks
my
glam.
business, right? But
Mm-hmm.
more than less, you see a lot of people saying either they got let go from their job or they quit their job. So I said, okay, I need somebody that quit their job, struggled a little bit. What's the mindset? Let's roll that soundbite.
If I talk to people today, I tell them, do not quit your job unless you have gone through that gauntlet. What I mean is where you've at least replaced half of your active income from your opportunity in your entrepreneurship journey. And the reason is very simple. What we don't realize is the system has taught us to be employees from day one, where you go to school, you're taught to sit quietly, do your work, a bell dismisses you, you ask to go to the bathroom, and everything that you learn in entrepreneurship, which is like networking, working with people, building relationships, serving others, it's like you have to reprogram yourself. So for most of us, and I would assume your audience is the same, and if not, then God bless them. For most of us, when we first start the journey, we are doing all the things that we were taught in school to make us a good employee, and that doesn't always make you a good entrepreneur.
Exactly. And so, when we talk about entrepreneurship, social media will, can mess you up a little bit. You think, oh, I can have lunches at noon every day with my kids and my family. But what about the work that you have to put in? I know people that's come on Black Men Sundays, millionaires. They said when they first became an entrepreneur, they worked from 9 to 12. And one of my listeners said, "Oh, you
And
work
that's
from
9
9 to
a.m.
noon. That's
to 12 a.m., right?
There we go. There we
All
go.
the
So
way
we
around
have
that
that
clock.
conversation. Yeah, we had that conversation. This guy quit his job in 2018. We're talking about Drake Riggs, the president of Obsidian Wisdom, a registered investment advisor. So I asked
Mm-hmm.
him another question. I said, okay, for us to be successful, for us to retire and not have to continue working, how many streams of income do we need? Let's roll that real quick.
So that's what the focus of the company. And so there's three assets that you can generate these in. One is going to be real estate, two is going to be a business, and three is going to be the stock market. And these three asset classes, you'll be able to build your own retirement, your own financial freedom, and your own generational wealth. But you have to have at least three streams within these asset classes.
Definitely. And I'm sorry, I don't know why the audio's low. I cranked it up and everything before I sent it over. But, this show, Black Men Sundays, dropping at midnight Sunday. We're talking about retirement. We're talking about how long does generational wealth last for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of brothers and sisters I'm hearing where their kids are graduating college, they moving back home. A lot of these families are. I need a little secondary job to take care of them. So we're talking about that. We're talking about how an extra $1,000 a month is a game changer. How can you establish that? And again, Black Men Sundays this Sunday midnight, all podcast platforms. We on YouTube, Click Orlando. We on all your platforms. Follow us, Instagram, TikTok. Yes.
Corey, I love it because this is the real deal. This is real advice. And like you said, it's not just the glossy, glamorous social media posts of, the dream image of what people want it to be. It's like the hard work and the real advice that goes into it. So I love that.
Definitely. And what bothers me is when I look at these posts, a lot of these folks from like the first 2 weeks of them leaving their job, they're like, oh, this is great. I'm loving it. Okay. But guess what? That Duke bill dude,
Mm-hmm.
who's paying that? You are. Where's the money coming from? At least when you were complaining and you had your day job to finance your entrepreneurship, right? That check was being cut. That check's not being cut anymore. So this conversation is about the real deal being an entrepreneur. Everyone is sweet, is sexy. It's a sexy thing, but what about when that check stops from your job and now it's on you?
Right.
Black Men Sundays, tune in Sunday.
All right, Corey. Thank you. We'll see you then.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so we are going to get ready to get out of here. I wanted to share with you the Flamingo Mingle at Discovery Cove, our insider guide, and morning co-anchor Crystal Moyer takes us out to Discovery Cove. But Kathleen, do we have time to roll that? Or we go to clickorlando.com/insider and check that out. But it is so cute, and Crystal interacted with the flamingos. Just go to clickorlando.com/insider. And if you're not an insider, sign up for that as well. We're also hitting the road very soon. We'll be releasing all the details about where we're going live, but we're going out to Montverde 34756 this month. It's coming up very shortly, and we want to know from you if there are any stories that you want us to cover in the community of Montverde. 34756 zip code. Go to clickorlando.com/hits-the-road to let us know about that right there. And up next is Weather-Wise with meteorologist Jonathan Kegas, then Trooper Steve on patrol. I'll see you at noon on WKMG. Have a good one.